Hey, good morning, Gunny. Yo, welcome in. Good morning to everyone. And he says, can't wait for 17.2. Bummed about the wait, but it's an alpha after all. Yeah, but they're leaving with reputation, Gunny, so it's really pretty easy actually to make money back. You know what I mean? They had to do a database clean out because of all the dupes and stuff like that. But with reputation, with the new like dynamic stuff, well, not dynamic stuff, the what's it called? The derelict stuff. That's it. It means it's easier for you to make the money back. If you do it right, you can literally make like 1 million every day. If you've got the reputation. So what I would highly suggest people doing is until the wipe, work on reputation and get it up to like 4 or 5, which literally takes no time at all. And then booyah, you know? Moment you go into live 317.2, you've already got the reputation and you can start grinding that money really, really fast. Hey, Kelly Briggs, you killed me in Jump Time before. It was pretty sick. Uh, don't take this offensively. I can't remember everyone that I kill or kills me, so I can't recall. Over the weekend, there's been a lot of kills, that's for sure. You've been grinding the bounty missions. Yeah, that's the best way to do it, Gunny. Then when you go into Free 17.2, you've got the reputation, you're ahead of the curve, very much. Got some racing to do today, chat. Endurance, but first we got the sneak peach flavor. Oof. Oh yeah, I need to tell my son not to open it. Moment. Alright, we're gonna roll on maybe 30 seconds more. Where is he? Oh, where's Jack? There he is. There we go. Alright, cool. I reminded him. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Michael the Dark Lawrence, and welcome to another episode of The Darkness here on Twitch. It is Monday, chat. Weekend is over. 4th July. Americans, you are going to be celebrating today. Lots of fireworks, all that good stuff. Day 47 in a row. Today we're going to be cracking out. I don't know if it'll come up on stream. Oh, it does actually. That's cool. Sneak peach iced tea flavor, unopened. Not knowing what the flavor's like. I'm going to try that out. But also we're getting into the PTU snake pit. I'm going to try and do some endurance racing today, which will be quite fun. Well, for me anyway. The idea is to do the snake pit over and over again. I'm looking at to see 50 laps under an hour. No crashing. Possible. We'll have to see. But welcome in, everyone. No, it's fine. I hardly get to fight against people, so it was a thrill. But I pretty much swung around to see where the radar lock came from, and I was dead. Myself and, if it was on Sunday, myself and Fresh were there, so it was probably actually 2 people hitting you at once. Calibriggs. And yeah, then it can be really, really fast and stuff like that. But yeah, that is the best way to get into PvP, especially if you just play as blue and you just wear like the white armor. You've got nothing to lose, you know what I mean? It's just like a few minutes of your time to respawn and stuff like that. That's why I don't understand when people get disheartened by PvP and they're like, oh, it's so bad I can't do anything. It's like, well, if you die and give up, of course it's going to be bad. But if you make it where you've got no loss, it's just a tiny bit of time, you know? And that's a really good thing. But unfortunately, that's Jumptown over. We've got Siege of Orison coming up in 3.17.2. However, I was watching people do it on the test server yesterday, and it didn't look that good, to be honest. Very janky and stuff, so I hope CIG can try and fix a bit of that beforehand. But we'll see. We shall see. Alright, whilst we're crack-lacking, I'm gonna crack open this. So, water, sneak, tub. This was over the 30th, they did a launch on this. I still believe there are, there's the seal. You can still get this on the American website. But I'm curious, because a lot of people have been saying this is really, really good. Get the wee bits and bobs out. There's gas going everywhere. Alright. Oh, wow. Oh, that's definitely peachy. Alright, we need water. And all that good stuff. So this is peached iced tea. Now, obviously, I don't drink a lot of peached iced tea, but I do love it. You know. Ugh. There we go. And just for a little bit of extra, we're gonna put that in there. Normally I would do this in the kitchen because powder everywhere is not good, but we gotta do it live. Gotta do it live, chat. Alright. Whilst that's in there, and we'll close the lid on this. Ooh. It's on the way. I should never have done this. I'm very interested because a lot of people in the ambassadors for Sneak area have been ranting about it. Ooh. Oh, that smells like, if you're in the UK, not gummy, not jelly beans, fruit pastels. Smells like an orange or the tropical fruit pastel. It's quite strong, actually. I may have made it a bit too weak, but yeah, that's good. That's definitely good. I wouldn't put it in my top 5 though. My top 5 is very difficult to enter. What I'm going to do is I'm going to let that fuse a bit more, then settle, and then we'll come back to it. It's very peachy. But I don't know why I had in my head that it was going to taste like peach iced tea. You know what I mean? Like with that more kind of tea flavor added to it. It's more just peach, if anything else. For my taste buds, anyway. It's really, really nice. Like, I do love peach. But I kind of feel like it needs something a little bit more. You know what I mean? Like, get in and get maybe some Blizzard to spice up a little bit. But yeah, definitely good. If you got yourself a tub, it's definitely worth it. I actually like no joke, I like the powder better. Maybe I didn't have cold enough water. It'll definitely be something that we'll do a little bit of experimenting with. I am going to try later on, obviously not on stream, but I'm going to make up some tea. And then I'm going to add some Sneak to it. And I'm gonna try and do that, you know? That's definitely something I'm gonna do. But yeah, that's nice. Again, it wouldn't go into my top 5 in its current state. But I have noticed that if you come back to Sneak, like some flavors a couple of weeks to a month later, they taste so much different. It's almost like the powder ages a little bit. Like the air inside the tub does stuff to it, you know what I mean? And it kind of like boosters the flavor, so definitely really nice. I like the peach, but again, I had more in my head of what it was going to taste like, and it's not gone to that sort of flavor. I would definitely say out of the latest ones that they've got, the Origins one, which is the rhubarb and custard one. I've got another tub of that arrived as well today. That one is really, really good. But I'm into my sweets, you know what I mean? Like any of their sweet flavors, that's the way I go for. This one is actually just, I could imagine if you had, if you got some plain apple cider and you mixed up a little bit of Sneak and then you combine them, ice, outside summer heat, that would be really, really cool. It'd be like a peachy cider kind of drink that would give you caffeine as well. It'd be pretty dope. But it's got a good color. Again, it's settling just now, so we'll come back to it. I might even whack it into the fridge just to chill the water a bit more and see if that changes the flavor a bit. Because again, all of this stuff has like an effect on it. Impossible to be unreleased for me though. Unreleased iron brew flavor, then into probably rhubarb and custard, sorry, into which is Origins, then Cherry Blast. The Blackout has been going up my list a little bit. It's not into my top 5 yet, though. I hope everyone had a good weekend. Jump Town. I didn't actually complete Jump Town, so I probably won't get any money for it. Same with Ninetales. Went to Ninetales, but again, you can't win as red, so it's kind of like a bit disappointing on that one.
Nearing next stop.
I'm gonna quickly fit out the arrows here before we go, because again, the NPCs are a problem, and I want to have as least amount of weight and stuff like that as possible. So again, we're gonna be at the Snake Pit, which is off Microtech on Clio at the really long name outpost, and we're gonna be racing there. But the idea is, instead of trying to do it like the times of the other guys, is we are going to try and do endurance racing. Which basically means lots of laps without crashing. Because for me, I kind of feel that's a lot more fun than trying to do like this fast time sort of thing. Hey, good morning, Colin. How you doing, Chief? Hope you had a good weekend, sir. So yeah. Endurance. The idea is 50 laps under an hour. Which means if we can hit a minute per lap, that'll be really, really good.
The factory line has all of Microtech's latest offerings.
I'm gonna do this with shield as well, but I wanna take this off. We're taking the missile racks off. I don't want any underwing situation, and we'll just leave the top on basically. I'm gonna put bulldogs. That's how we're rolling with these arrows on P2. I'm looking forward to seeing what patch they come out this week. I'm wondering if we'll see P2 by the weekend. It'll be interesting. I have a feeling it will be next week, because we have free flight starting on the 7th for anyone wanting to get involved in that. Which is pretty dope, pretty dope. The reason I'm keeping the shield on is the red writing for shield is down is very off-putting. I would love to have a talk with the UI team to say, could you disable the red writing in the center of the screen? Because it is the most off-putting thing for flying in general, I feel. Let's see if the sound files are working. I'm good myself. Yeah, I'm doing very well. Thank you for asking. We're on day 47 in a row of streaming, so it's kind of like, whew. It's getting in there now. It's getting in there. Getting a lot more used to it. Had a weekend off since March. It was lovely. Damn. Oh, you've had time off since March, or you've just had a day off or a weekend off? First week off since March. Alright. Yeah, that's a bit crazy, like, whew. Alright, beautiful. Beautiful.
You are clear to launch.
Actually, I don't really need to do this. I'll do it just for the sake of it just now. Ooh. Bit of a red sky out there for the old, oh, maybe not, never mind. It was red. Yes, up we go. Right, so I need to quickly go and save myself at Port Tresler. And then we get into, wow, we actually get How many shots? 97 shots with Bulldog. That'll do for killing NPCs, no problem. Again, this is sort of going for like a half-naked arrow to have the speed, but also just in case the NPCs start shooting at me, I don't, you know, have to quickly stop what I'm doing, sadly. Up and away! I do like what they've done with the ring in 372, where on the truck stops they've added the cool, like, when you warp to it, see that? It's so dope. The lights that go around it. Oh, hello. Yeah, the truck stops are looking so much better now. Bit of lag there as we shimmy.
Please proceed to assigned landing.
Oh, that would have been perfect.
Landing gear deployed.
Manual lander. Right, I just need to save here, and then we can do it. Gonna be spending a lot of time in the blade as well in 3.17.2. I do enjoy the kind of burst firing vibe that it's got right now. It's really cool. For low flying, not so much. But again, like, I'm at the stage where I'll just hop in the alt at the racetrack to get my low flying kicks. Do a bit of Daymar, you know, those kind of things. Right, let's quickly do this.
To the ASOP vehicle retrieval system.
We'll pull this one, just so we got it. Should be able to just walk away now. And we go to the medical bay. Quickly do this as well. And done. Oh yeah. Easy, chat, easy. The game is starting to feel a lot cooler, like when you go into places and you're like, I know the NPCs doing that, but you know what I mean, like turnstiles going round, you kind of see like, you know, there might be defibs in the future that they're planning on. It's starting to get fleshed out quite nicely, you know. Obviously AI is a big thing in any game. You know, when it's working here, but it's moonwalking over there, moonwalking there. You know what I mean? Like, this one's moonwalking so hard it's making smoke. I'll be very interested to see how it goes when they have, now, does this have access to the pads? Oh, you can get access to the pads, that's cool. I'm interested to see how the AI will be once we're on the different server tech and all that jazz. Hopefully no nonsense then. Alright, let's get out on this. And then we're good, boys, we're good. There we go. Right, we'll set this up as we'd normally do.
You are clear to launch.
Let's get into it. Two shields here. Persistent MFDs when... Do you use any sensitivity curves? Just got my dual sticks and I find my movement is super jerky at low speeds. Right, I can go over it with you. So say for example you got your joystick here. Dead zone is obviously... if your joystick is not moving, it depends on how much pressure you push onto it before control actually works. So if you put dead zone all the way to the top here, it means that you're going to have to apply a lot of force before it actually works. but you also don't want it all the way to 0, because then even blowing on it would make the ship move. So I normally have mine at 0.2. Then saturation. Saturation is basically, if you have it at 1, it's 1 to 1. So when I move the joystick 1, it moves in game 1. If you have saturation at 0.5, it means that when you move it 1 in real life, it also in game will move another 0.5 or 50% on top of it, which makes fake reactions. So if you're a 1-to-1 user, you've got very high reactions. If you make it into 0.5, or all the way to the left, that means that you need double the reactions, or even, you know, quadruple the reactions and stuff like that. So I personally don't have saturations. When it comes to curve, here's another thing that for me, I just use flat 1. Again, my reactions and movement and fine movement is very, very good. That's just my genetics. If you go all the way to the right, you're going to add a dampener, which is going to make it more sluggish, and if you go under 1, it's going to make it very kind of like hyperspeed. That's the best way I can explain it to you, McDingle, is this all depends on you. I don't use curves, I don't use saturation, because I'm very papa blessed by having insanely fast reactions, but also I have the ability and muscle memory and to do very, very precise movement without doing things. That takes time to create that kind of stuff, so yeah. I love the Javelin 2, the AI worked good there. Yeah, 3.17.2, the AI is just a little bit janky right now, but it also could be massively sorted out before we actually go to live. Because they've added a new AI kind of tech or fixes, so we'll see how that goes, you know. So if you've just got dual sticks and you find my movements are super janky at low speeds, then what to do is maybe increase the curve higher, which would then give you a bit of a dampening feel to it and stuff like that. Again, a lot of people with, and this is no offense to people, with poor reactions, poor precision of their digits and arms require curves. It's why for low flying and stuff like that, I have it all set as default because I don't need it. I'm lucky. And it's the same with, like, if you look at Avenger 1 for combat, he doesn't have any curves and stuff like that because, again, he has very precise movement of his arms. And yeah, it all depends on you. Everyone is completely different. It's nothing to be embarrassed about if you have to require dampening on the curves, or if you need less saturation to make it feel like you've got a little bit of more movement and stuff. Everyone is different. Just I'm better. Again, it doesn't matter. Everyone has different things, you know. Oh, we got a Banu Defender. Is the Banu Defender crashed on the track? Please say you haven't been a dickhead and left on the track. This Razor. Oh no, it is on the track. Oh, for fuck's sake, man. That somebody crashed and then just left the server. Is it in a bad position if I was coming this way? No, it's out of the way for me. It's just going to be annoying, that's all. I need like a higher red to come and kill things on the track. So I'm gonna wait for the storm to pass to that night. You've also got to remember, anytime you make an adjustment on this, don't be like certain people who make an adjustment and then they literally go for 5 minutes and go, no, this is not for me. You need to spend hours when you make adjustments, because you truly won't know what you're actually doing. You know what I mean? If you change something by even 0.2 in some of the settings, yeah, it will become, you need to spend that time and gain muscle memory. That's why I always say, like, if you're doing stuff in Star Citizen, the best thing to do when you're using joysticks anyway, it's different if you're keyboard and mouse and stuff, is, yeah, just, give it more time. Don't be somebody that just instantly changes it and then be like, alright, I'm not even going to put any time stuff. Hey, Beattoon, how you doing, Chief? Right, I need to look for some, trance, we're going to be looking for, yeah, and we're going to take off shuffle as well, right? So we're going to start with this. What the fuck is going on there? Alright. We're gonna go. See if this defender is that bad. Oh wait, the defender's actually gone. That's good. It finally left. It finally left, chap. Yep, that's what I thought. That razor just bit the dirt. Trying to cut in, be funny. The idea is I want to see if we can do 50 laps under an hour. Obviously, we're not timing it just now. This is warm up, getting used to the atmosphere, getting used to the ship, the heaviness. But I basically want to try and do like a Days of Thunder kind of race. 5 arrows, 50 laps. When you damage your ship, you're out. You run out of fuel, you're out, you know? It'd be so dope, man. And obviously, fastest time wins, you know? Because I like their idea of the snake pit where they do like 2 laps and it's fastest time, but I'm wanting like a proper endurance race. Not somebody that can do 2 laps. 2 laps is too easy. You gotta concentrate for an hour of racing. Pure sweat. And I think 50 laps is a good setting for it, you know? So we're coming up to what, 3 now? What I'll need to do as well is put like a counter on the screen and have it where like mods can just like upvote it or something like that. I don't know. Or I need to put a button on one of my joysticks where whenever I go for a lap, I can make an update. That would be the plan. Because I can't, I won't be able to do that. This is where like a pit crew would be really, really cool. I need Hankin. Hankin needs to be on comms. And he needs to be the guy from Days of Thunder. Where he's like, alright, Cole. You're coming up to the 42nd lap. You know, that's what we... yeah. I'm gonna get Hankin. We'll get Hankin as the guy from Days of Thunder. I can't even remember who the actor is. He's in Gone in 60 Seconds as well. I'm trying to remember his name, you know. That would be pretty funny. How you doing today, Donkey, as well? Welcome in. I'm only gonna quickly glance at chat, guys, when we're in sort of like straights and I know I'm good. I think he's a mod command, yeah. I'm trying to remember how I would be able to do it though, you know. Duval, that's it, yeah. Was it Robert? Robert Duval, isn't it? Yeah, with Nicolas Cage is in Gone 60 Seconds, but the guy that's the old man, who's like the mentor, is also in Days of Thunder with Tom Cruise. And that's who I want Henkin to be. Alright, DarkLaw, you're coming up on the right. Slow it down. You know what I mean? That's what we need. Henkin's high energy would be able to do it, you know? We'd be like, right, pull the gas, you know? Alright, that's good. Let's get a wee break on that. So looking at, I think we did like what, 5 something laps. We're at, the fuel's a bit down though. I wonder if you could even do 50 laps. Hey Pitchburn, how's it going? Welcome in, Chief. Just yours will be wearing a bear onesie. It'd be so funny though. Cause he could be, we could have him in like a position, right? Hank, we'll put Hank in like a little car, and he'll be doing this stuff like that. It'll be pretty cool, man. Right, I'm gonna need music to keep us going. So, let's see what endurance music brings up. I'm not even sure what this will bring. Beast mode? What's beast mode? Yeah, I'll just say this mode. Oof. He did kill himself in a PTV on the track, did he? Damn it. Right. Endurance! Oh, wait. I'll give you that. I think Fresh would be down for something like this as well. He's been having a lot of fun on the track. He'll probably get his pedals hooked up again. Oh, little rough there. Gotta watch the wee metalwork. Oh. Amazing how much my precision goes off without having the tools to fly. I could get somebody to sit on the ship and record though. That would be a way of doing it. Alright, we're coming up to where I can quickly glance chat. Glance chat. Hey Amaro, how you doing, Chief? I need to get like a pair of glasses where chat's in one of the eyes. That way I could read your comments whilst flying. Alright, 75 fuel mark. Hey Max, how you doing, Chief? Sorry guys, I really can't concentrate on chat whilst doing this. Again, pretty much today is just sort of like, you're in for a ride, that's it. I literally don't have the ability to stop for endurance. 52 Emerald, thank you. Well, we're not doing trying to beat their times, we're trying to do 50 laps in an hour without crashing and base off that time. But that requires building up tolerance to this racetrack. Like, the personal best stuff, I'm not interested in. Endurance racing, I've got more interest in. So, 5 arrows, on the track, no crashing. 50 laps, hour to do it in. Fastest time wins. Crash, you die, you're out. No second life. Watch your fuel tank. Afterburner at the right time, or you'll run out of fuel before the 50 laps is over. That's what I'm interested in. So if you notice that my afterburner tank is starting to get higher and higher depending on certain laps, if I've got good momentum, my afterburner is going up because I don't want to waste hydrogen. So I'm only now using afterburner to correct myself to keep that speed going. That's what I'm after, ladies and gentlemen. The endurance of it all. Not the speed, not the times. How long can you last, basically? If that's possible. But yeah, 52 is not bad for a warm-up. Also, I'm not full light either. 51 is my fastest in the arrow, but that's full naked arrow, you know? The fucking banging tune, chat. Banging tune that. It'll get faster, but again, we have to concentrate on, we need to be under 60 seconds per lap. If we want to do 50 laps per hour for endurance, we need to be under. So any speed under 60 seconds, we're rocking it. And that's where the endurance will come in, is I'll get more and more tired and slow it down. But if we can get down to 50 seconds, it means that we could beat times. But that would be in the final 20 laps, we would have to push our time. Or even final 10, we would have to keep pushing harder and harder and harder. That's where I love endurance racing over anything. Is the longer this goes on, the more tired I get. But if we can build a tolerance for it, or get into a routine, we'll be golden, you know? I really wish like there was a way to monitor how many laps I've actually done. I think if you were going to do this as well, full racing components for as light as you can go. And if you got people protecting the track, you could drop the shields and the weapons, so it'd be alright. Left arm is starting to get really sore though. Like almost kind of like pins and needles kind of shit. Right is fine. Right is not tired at all. It's the left for working the throttle and the strafes. We're roughly about 50% on the tank, so yeah, I think you can do an hour on the tank, no problem. Alright, that was good, that was good. We actually came through on this point with a little bit more afterburn than we would normally do. So I'm starting to try and get into the idea of pulsing it a little bit more instead of like holding it down. Also watch, I'm not doing too many straights, because if we do too many straights, we'll also drain the afterburner a lot more. And we want it for this. This needs to be tight, like that. And we'll drift out this way, as it doesn't require enough afterburn. This is again a pulse, and we're at 50%. And I can actually get around now without afterburner there. Afterburner now, push. We're pushing around corners now 9Gs, which is a lot better. We got good afterburner now, pump it up. We're over 300 this time, full push. Let her go. That's good, that's good, that's good. Again, we're gonna just lightly do it here, lightly, and just drift. Because we can just correct ourselves. Hold the afterburner there. Tap it now. There we go. Right, alright, we're at 52. We're two afterburner higher now. Push in here. 61. Now we've got plenty for this push now. Full afterburner, full afterburner, full afterburner. Push, 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 push. 320. We're 10 meters a second fast now. Holy shit, that is a lot faster. A lot of afterburner wasted though for that final push. I don't even know if it's worth it. Final push might not be worth that afterburner. We're back to 51 though, so that's good. We'll just tap it around here this time. Get regen in this point now. Let's try a tap this time. Instead of a hold, tap, tap, tap. 320, right, so we can do it without holding it. And that gives us 34. We should be about 50 by the time we go around. Yeah, tapping's away. Look at that, look at that. Holy shit. Plenty of afterburner. Push, 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 push. We're at 50. I've got a little bit more to spare to go around that a bit faster now. Alright, no afterburner, no afterburner, no afterburner. Use the afterburner. 55. We're free up. We're gonna pulse it now. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Up to 320. Pulse and hold. 50 now for it. We're starting to gain more afterburner now for every corner. So even though it's like learning the track and the flight as well, we also have to learn not to hold the afterburner as much. Because again, we're gonna run out of fuel if we keep holding afterburner as well for corners. Look at that, 60, 65, we'll be at 80 I think maybe, 86, 86, we were 52 last time or something. I got nearly full tank of aft to go around this one. Pulse it here, pulse it here, pulse it here. Hold. Let go. Yeah, look at that. Juice. Again, if we were doing this with another 4 pilots on the track, we're gonna have to make sure we have plenty of afterburner to dodge and pull corners faster if we want to overlap or overtake, sorry. So it's just trying to get into the habit of not depending on it too much and more just natural fly up. Long as we're at 300 by under this gate, which we're just slightly off there. I need a fucking straw for the drink though. I need somebody to. I need water or something. Right, too much afterburner used there whilst laughing. We'll regain it here. I'll do a light one. There we go, light. 37, right, we'll be at 50 by the time we get there. Ooh, that was a little too close, a little too close. Yeah, I definitely think you can easily do the hour on the Arrow's fuel tank for endurance racing. Going light here and a bit high just to get the afterburner back. There we go, plenty now. Pulse it. Sorry I'm missing chat today, guys. Like, it's literally impossible for me to do this and read chat. I would have to have it like in a different place, you know. Oof. Lost a bit of speed there. I got an idea, chat. This is gonna be so risky. So risky. I need a drink. What is it? Oh, wrong weapon. Well, there's a few seconds on it, but I don't care. We got a drink. Chip, chip. There we go. Alright, we're good, we're good, we're good, we're good. Again, I think I need a straw, but it's gonna be so much easier. Alright, well, let's regain the afterburner now. Oh, whoops. Oh, it's bad, that's bad. Oh, that was a bit too low. That was nearly out of the game for that one. Can't let that happen. We're about to hit 25% on the fuel tank. Dude, I think that was graphics flying around. Left arm is so tired now. I don't even know how many laps we've done, but left arm is so tired. Slowing down in some turns. I can't do anything about it on it. The left arm is literally going already. I thought I could probably get over 25% before getting tired, but nah. Left arm is gone. This is more strenuous than like doing a dragon challenge for me. Oh shit. Ah, fuck. Yeah. That's where, like, limit's done. The left arm is absolutely shot already. Not bad, though. Not bad. So, just, I would say we're actually at 25%. Fuck me, it's dead. Alright, so we're gonna have to build up the left arm. The left arm needs way more training to be able to do this. It's like, it's gone all fucking red as well. Alright, fuel. 51:16, was that the fastest? Thank you, Space. Shake wait time? No, it's the blood. It's the blood in the arm. It's just, it's so tight. After it, the right arm is completely fine because it's not doing much work, but the left arm is doing everything. Pedals are good, right arm mentality is fine, it's just, yeah, left arm is super knackered, and now I'm making mistakes. But that's not bad. For first attempt, we're at 25% before a mistake happened. So I'm happy with that. Well, I'm exhausted, so... This actually could be a thing for Star Citizen, for race fans. Endurance racing is actually quite fucking tiring. In Star Citizen. Who would have thought, you know? I think that the worst part was when I started to get like a dry mouth. I need like a straw or something where I can quickly grab there. But yeah. So that's the two things. Left arm, for which is my thrust, was just getting too sore near the end. And when sort of getting like dry mouth, that is going to be difficult to accomplish. Oh, this is so good. Space Jam Kush. Like, I appreciate what the guys are doing where they, you know, they're doing, the way they do the snake pit is they race 2 laps, and it's roughly within like a 1 minute 30 seconds for them to do that, and they've been doing it in razors and stuff like that. For me, that's cool and all, but I like the sort of endurance part about it. What do we have here? Oh, it's oh, for fuck's sake, it's an NPC. Alright, chat, let's deal with the NPC. This is why we brought guns, you know, and we've got shields. Oh, and we're quantum jammed as well now. Jesus Christ. For some reason, NPCs show up here. So I need it to come out. There we go. Come on. Also, why can't I fire? Why can't I actually fire my guns? Or have we barricade? Yeah, I should be able to fire. What the fuck's going on? Yeah, I literally can't fire. That's bizarre. Everything's working. Yeah, everything's working apart from being able to fire. It's not power triangle, I literally just can't shoot for some reason. Yeah, everything on my joysticks are working. Head tracking, flare, decoy, landing gear. Yeah, landing gear, I just literally can't fire for some reason. It's almost like this. Let me move away and see what we can do here. I wonder if that warping thing is stopping me from firing. Come on, interdictor. Oh, right, so that's not it. Weapon scooping? No. It's just literally for some reason it's not firing. It is just not firing the guns. No power triangle. I wonder if we've just taken damage and it's killed the turret. Like I said before, you gotta be in my perspective top 3 flyers of all time. Definitely put your name in good word. Thank you, I appreciate that. Alright, let's see if we can repair or have a little look. The NPCs are fighting each other, so I can just stationary now. What is going on? %, 100. Oh well, we'll never know, chat. Because the game just crashed. Ah! Oh well. Let's me catch up with chat now. Way more. Right, let me go back as much as I can go through. Obviously, I do apologize for missing people's conversations and stuff. ESP is an automatic curve. If ESP is on, you have a curve applied as a global value. That's only when targeting somebody, though. ESP does not do anything unless you're actually targeting another player. Right now you're at 45 minutes for 50 laps. If we were doing it like that, that's good. That's good. Did we actually do 50 laps? Because I wasn't taking it into account. I was actually just wanting to see how long it would take for the Arrow's tank to run out. And that's sort of, I'm trying to gauge where, because 50 laps might be too short. Because I want it where, like, you're having to watch your hydrogen, you know? That's the whole idea of the endurance race, is that you want it where if somebody pushes too much, the hydrogen runs out too fast, you know? Yeah, my game crashed as well, Graphic. I saw you flying around, dude. X-Matrix, welcome in. Ricky, welcome in. SBT Error, welcome in. Pray Hard too? Yeah. Yeah. Well, again, I wanted to just see what the Arrow could actually achieve. Because I would like to try and make this into a race. So my plan is 5 arrows, a set amount of laps, no weapons, no shields. You would have people basically protect you against NPCs or something like that. No refueling, no repairing. So the moment that you lose a wing, you're pretty much having to leave the match, and then obviously there could be collisions. But I would like to see if we could do like basically NASCAR kind of driving, where it's just all about endurance and how long you can actually go. 51:16. Yeah, like again, it's most likely, I think it's just because I literally couldn't feel anything in my left arm space jam, you know what I mean? It might have been getting faster, but it was getting sloppier, like, in movement. Like, I literally couldn't go around that final corner at all. My arm just went out at that point. I saw the French guy's video on Twitter, so wanted to have a go. Not great with new sticks. Hey, dude, it's, like, that track is a really good way of practicing flight in general. I mean, you don't need to go and try and do what we're trying to do. We're trying to find of where we can do this. You know what I mean? Like, if Atmo Esport did this, they could literally have endurance racing where they make it a 2-hour race. And in that 2 hours, you've got to go round a certain amount of laps. You crash, you're out. You can have one refuel. Because again, it would be you leave the track, go and refuel. So that would be like pit time. You know, in the pit, getting a refuel.
Welcome to the
That would be kind of cool, you know what I mean?
system.
And that's where, like, this sort of training, trying to build up the endurance on it, would be really, really good. Because we don't really have that in Star Citizen. We don't have... Can somebody do the course multiple times in one session without crashing, without running out of fuel, without smashing into each other? Because again, what the guys are doing for Snake Pit is they're going around by themselves, getting their time within 2 laps, and that's how they're doing it. I'm wanting to maybe spice this up and add 5 arrows on the field, and you have to go for an hour. And that would be a lot more harder than, you know, by yourself kind of thing. A life is 2.5 hours, you would have to stop and eat, drink also. That's true. Oh, a pilot swap. Oh, we could spice up Solitaire where every 25 laps you have to swap to your secondary pilot. Then the other ship can go and refuel, repair, you know what I mean? That would be kind of cool, actually. A 2-man team every 25 laps, make it where it's 100 laps per team. Ooh. I would want to do it in a 350R. No, you can't do it in the 350R. The reason for this, guys, is literally the Arrow has the fuel tank available to do it, but if you have everyone in 350Rs, there's not enough space to race around in bigger ships, flying wombat. You know what I mean? The idea is this is an endurance race, not a fucking race where you use speed and stuff like that. This is all about literally surviving 2 hours worth of time kind of thing. And the Arrow has that ability. Yeah, the more in both. Yeah, so we would have pit crew, yeah. Yeah, exactly. If you're in the 350, the 350 is like double the size or nearly double the size of an Arrow. If you have 5 of them running around, I mean, we could even spice this up where you could have 10, you know? Then you would actually get collisions and proper like Grand Prix kind of like smashing stuff. Again, I'm trying to think of a way of doing this track, but more Daytona kind of style, you know? Yeah, Solitaire, because it'd be cool, like, you know where there's like that long bar? It'd be kind of cool just before the checkpoint. You come off on that turn and you go in, you got a Vulcan that repairs, refuels you and gets you back into the race. It'd be so dope, man. It'd be so dope. Because again, I can't stand Arena Commander racing. It's just so boring to me. And by yourself, like yesterday when me and Fresh were doing drifting around the corners, it was so much fun. Now, if you had 5 people on the track and then you had split teams where every 25 laps you have to go into your other person, and then that is highly on, because I can get into the rhythm, right? But as I'm getting into the rhythm, I'm getting more and more and more tired. So if I can then have a break, and then my wingman starts doing the 25 laps, you know what I mean? You can really, really go for a long, long time. 100i... Again, it would all depend on, you know, longevity of fuel tank and how difficult is it for other ships, you know. The Arrow is one of the cheapest to buy in the game at 900k, which allows people to have like multiple. Again, it's just such a big ship, you know what I mean? Flying Wombat, it's a big ship, dude. This is only 16 meters, the 350 is a lot bigger, and to be honest, that's why it works on bigger tracks, you know? Again, we're not using racing ships flying Bombat, you know what I mean? The idea is to move away from racing ships and more about endurance. You've got plenty of racing tracks for the Razor, the M50, and all that jazz, you know? You're referring to Racing Team Orgs? Yeah, yeah, exactly, yeah. Again, there's plenty of places where you can place, like, referees to watch for stuff, you know? Well, the easiest way is the referee is just in the, you know, you can see people's names and stuff quite easily going around the track. It's not that far away, so... If you think about it, the referee could literally pin all 5 of the pilots, and it wouldn't go off the pin, and that way the ref can see everyone, kind of thing. Now, I got no interest in going into a racing ship, X-Matrix. In the day's training, yeah. It's a lot of fun, Max. It really is. But it's tiring as well. Like, I wasn't expecting just testing out to be so exhausting. And also, we're running a lot more weight because, again, the arrow that I have was basically set up with a shield and the 2 top turrets just so I could actually shoot off NPC.
Landing gear raised.
Let's even see if this works now. Yeah, see, now it works. No idea what the hell was going on. Maybe the server was just... That's why everyone crashed on that server. Maybe there was just something that bugged out. The Hawk is not good for flight. It's good in the straights, Flying Wombat. The idea is you need to find a ship that's not a racing ship, because racing ships just literally have a huge advantage of speed, and they're so small. The idea is that this is like NASCAR, Daytona, whatever you want to call it, where collisions need to be a thing, but also not where it's every split second of going around corners. So you need a ship literally the size of an arrow to make it intense, have the fuel tank to do these things, but also not have it where somebody literally starts blitzing away at hyper speed. You can't have a racing ship for this, because racing ships have crazy pull away power, because they're on a different system than like the Arrow. The Hawk just doesn't fly as well as the Arrow. The Gladius is too big. You would have to limit it down to 3 Gladius then, or the track is going to be too full. It's just a wee canyon, you know what I mean? 5 arrows is already really, really dangerous to fly around. There would be collisions within the first few seconds of people trying to pull away and stuff like that. That's what we're wanting, you know? Again, Merlin's too small, so if we do Merlin, we have to bring in like 10 Merlin, you know what I mean? 300 series is too big, guys. Just literally take the ships down to the track and you'll see what I mean. You know? NASCAR, yeah, exactly, yeah. The idea is everyone has to be in the same ship. It needs to be 85x is It would do it, yeah, but again, now you're going to smaller ships. Frogs. No. Again, no more memes, guys. Like, this is why I'm doing it in the arrow, because the arrow would be the best for this kind of mode. It's a decent size, you can get 5 of them on the track, and it would be dangerous. They've got the ability to keep afterburning with their fuel tank. They don't go around corners like the racing ships, so there's a lot more drift, more prone to accidents. You know that's changing very shortly, Max, when they bring in the different flight system. VTOL will not be able to be abused like it can be right now. That is all getting changed, But yeah, see this bar here, where I'm looking at now? That is the perfect place to have like a pit crew just before the flag, where you basically would come off here. So as you're racing, right? You come around this track, and before you go to the thing, you would literally go, right, I'm coming off, and you go off here, up this area, round, get your fix on the Vulcan, right? Get fixed by Vulcan, and then down into the track here. It'd be so sick, man, you know? If you actually had a full pit crew, Vulcan that repairs and stuff. It's a shame that you couldn't even, like, reduce the fuel tank, so you have to do it like that. But yeah, that would be the perfect place for, like, pit crew. Because it allows you to come off the track and then go back down on it, whilst you're out of bounds, basically. It's the only place that I think would work, or... I mean, this one would be too difficult, too far, you know. There's not really, like, another slip-in lane that you could do. So yeah, I think that would be the best place for it. But we need the Vulcan now for that kind of stuff. Of course, people of your skill are allowed in the race, so they would have a solo or qualifying event. Yeah, obviously there would have to be some way. I mean, I'm not, you know, anyone that would be working this out. It's more just trying to give the idea and be like, hey, Ammo Esports, do you want to do a NASCAR style endurance race? I think I've worked out a system for you. You do all the little nuts and bolts kind of design to it and stuff like that, and yeah, take it from there. I'm only just trying to find a gameplay mode out of it. I don't really want to organize it or do that kind of stuff. I would definitely enter, you know. But yeah, that totally makes sense. Yeah, you would have to have some sort of qualification time or video proving that you can do it without smashing into things or something like that. Because the moment that you add in the other racers, that's where the skill's going to be a lot harder, you know. Can I link you a video? Yeah, if I've got a moderator that can give you a permit. If not, I'll do it for you, Flying Wombat. Give me 2 seconds still. There you go, dude. Is the 100i the same size as the arrow? Again, we just have to test it. It all depends on fuel. Let's have a look here. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Flying Wombat. So you need a racing car or a car in general, or a ship, that basically can do long distance. And then you have the hard part is where it's not just like you pull ahead. See, that's the thing with racing ships, is literally if somebody turns bad, the racing ship that's at the head pulls away so fast. You know what I mean? And that's not what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for F1 racing kind of style. I'm looking for, you are going to be pushing times and stuff like that. Not somebody that's going around and overlapping somebody kind of thing, you know? Beginner up to pros? Again, that would be on whoever wants to arrange something like this, Max. I'm just literally just trying to find a gameplay mode out of it, you know? I can pull up in my Phantom Merchantman and start selling team merch. Yeah. Anybody looking for Dark Law's team merch? I have collection here. You know what I mean? Yeah, that would be actually pretty funny, yeah. Yeah, exactly, Flame Wombat. I'm looking for where you are always together, and I feel the arrow has that ability because the arrow, unlike the racing ship, drifts a lot round corners. It can't just go and race away. You know what I mean? I'm wanting the smashes. I'm wanting where there's 5 people flying around this track together for 50 laps, you know, or whatever, with the possibility that one person takes out the whole team and that's it, you know? And then the final ship, if there was a final ship, whoever's at the front or at the rear goes, oh shit, now I've got, you know, easy mode. I'm just gonna try and get a good time, you know? But we need to try. We need to see, like, again, when I was flying around with Fresh yesterday with just 2 arrows, it was dodgy. It was very, very dodgy at times. So if you upped it to 5 arrows total, you're going to have 2 arrows at the lead, 2 arrows at the back, and or if somebody's at the front, you know what I mean? You can only have 2 arrows side by side in this track. And the more, if we go down into smaller ships, obviously it's going to get crazier and crazier, but you need to up the ships to make sure and stuff. Yeah, exactly, no, yeah, exactly. There needs, again, like, this is where we need that sort of spend the day at the track sort of mentality would be awesome, you know? Where people, again, I've shown this where you literally can land an arrow here, so there could be literally people sitting on this bar, you know? Or on the piping here, mucking around, you know, long as people obviously, you know, didn't bring guns and start shooting stuff, but that's where you would have like some security force just murking people, you know? VIP placement, you could have an 890 just hovering above, looking down, yeah, yeah. 16 meters on the arrow. An arrow is a fighter, not racer. What do you mean, dude? Raven. Where are you going with that one? Every ship can be a racer, yeah, it can be. But what we're looking for is a certain class of ship that doesn't have advantages like other racing ships do. Like I said, I don't want it where somebody pulls away and that's it, you know what I mean? They're literally a lap ahead because they've taken corners out of a certain thing, you know? An arrow is a fighter class, yes, I know that. But where are you going with your point? Full Auroras? The problem with the Aurora is that it doesn't drift very well, Flying Wombat. Again, you don't want it where it looks like a janky race. Nobody's going to watch a janky race. Nobody's going to watch somebody literally fly faster than anyone. And you know what I mean? You want it where all the ships pretty much stay within the same area. And then it's down to people getting that extra few seconds ahead, you know? Because again, you're going to need somebody to time everyone's lap. Because again, even though you're neck and neck, somebody might be taking corners faster and their seconds are actually up, you know what I mean? It's the same with like NASCAR and stuff, you know? Carthals? I don't think the Carthal would be that good. But I mean, if they made the gates, all the gates were that height, yeah, you could do the Carthal. But Carthal is going to struggle going under there unless it goes sideways. And I think that would just, again, it would be defeating what I'm trying to achieve with this one. Go murder someone, I'm about to go to bed. Then go to fucking bed, Widowmaker. I don't give a shit if you want to see me kill somebody or not. Mustang Alpha Vindicator. It would, again, I would have to fly around the track multiple times, and to be honest, I'm more set on that the Arrow would be the best one for it. 85S is a touring class and an awesome racer, currently. Yeah, it's more... I mean, you could then have somebody with you who's doing the times, you know what I mean, Rolo? That might work. In the huge ring gates, yeah. I'm just looking for other ships. I'm just looking for it where we can make a race, you know what I mean? The more you start complicating with, oh, maybe you should do it with this ship. No, I'm just gonna do it with an arrow. I'm gonna have 5 arrows, and that's it. And if you don't like fucking arrows, fuck off. Go and do it with your own ship, you know what I mean? Because then it just goes into the whole debate of what should you use and stuff, and I've literally done like 45 minutes going around in the arrow, and it works. And it's a cheap ship to buy in game. It works for what I'm trying to achieve, which is not having a stupidly high speed to pull away from people. Not where it's clunky and shit when it's drifting around corners. It's small, it's sleek, it gets the job done. And it's got the ability to make it look good. Because if we do a racing ship, like I said, if you watch the guys who actually race on this track with their times, literally they are racing in a different way where they're going literally round corners sideways. There's no force of drift, you know? It is just literally corner, 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 corner. And if you are super fast at that, you're just going to pull away, and then we don't have a race. We don't have collisions. We don't have the NASCAR vibe, which is every car is pretty much together into the final like laps on it. This is where endurance racing is important. And you have that, right, I'm going to go easy for the first 10 laps, and then I'm going to start pushing it and stuff like that, you know? But then it's got to be big enough where you can have 5 arrows fit in each other, because again, some of these places are not exactly that big, you know? Again, myself and Fresh, we're racing around it, and even with me just following, this corner is tight for 2 arrows. 5 might be deadly. We would have to test this out. This corner is also going to be tough. The bigger the ship, the more it drifts, the more this race will end within 5 laps. And we don't want it to be 5 laps, we want it to be endurance. That's again why I'm trying to make an endurance race. It's got to work with everything. Mustang has just too many bits out on it. Same if you were to use the blade. The 100i series might work, but again, we would have to test out how much the fuel can happen, you know? How many times would people blow up? Yeah, because again, you don't go to a NASCAR race to not watch collisions, do you? You know what I mean? We gotta have some smashes. That's the whole point of this idea. Endurance races, people get tired and they crash into each other. Huge unfollow, go fuck yourself? Dude, I don't give a shit, dude, Widowmaker. Go cry in the corner, man, you know? If you don't like what I'm doing on stream, then don't watch the stream. But you saying unfollow? I don't give a shit, dude. Unfollow, unsub, never watch me again. I don't care, dude. I won't fucking lose sleep over it. Thank you, Tough, on that one as well, dude. No, it's like huge unfollow, like I give a fuck. Alright? Just attention seeking, that's all it is. But we'll save on it as well, where we'll just also permanently ban you. It's so much easier that way. Have a good life. 6 stops away. I'm waiting for the Lockhite to arrive today, chat, so I can sort out this nut on the joystick where it keeps loosening off too much. What is the best racing ship in your opinion that I can buy right now in the Pledge Store? I actually don't think you can buy racing ships on the Pledge Store. Pika. Let me actually go and check for you, Chief. I think this is something that's always been a problem where I never understand why CIG sells ships. They sell ships in game that you can buy with credit, and then you can't do it. Give me 2 seconds. I got Red Nomad here. That's fine. Let's go to the Pledge Store. Right here. We need to go to extras. Let's have a look. M50. Nope, can't buy an M50. I think it's gonna be where you have to, sorry, Razer, not Racer. Yeah. This is the biggest thing I've always said, is I don't understand why CIG don't sell ships on the pledge store when you can buy them in game. So yeah, you would have to do it in game. What about the Razor? Again, this is where, like, the Razor is definitely a racing ship. It's got the ability to pull away, and I'm not looking for your typical, like, F1 racing, if you know what I mean. I'm looking for, like, the NASCAR kind of vibe, endurance racing. The Razor might be something we would use, but I'm more looking at it that a lot more people fly the Arrow than they do Razor. So I want more people to be able to get involved in this. The Arrow makes sense because of the size, the ability to take a few bangs. The Razor, so for example, you know the little foils at the side of the Razor? If they come off, you lose so much speed and ability because of the flight model system. It's the same as if an Arrow loses a wing, but the Arrow obviously has a little bit more HP in certain areas. So I'm wanting the collisions, you know what I mean? If you have the collisions, then it makes it more appealing for people to watch, you know? Hey, morning, Tough. Losing nut behind the wheel, yeah. So my trigger on the left joystick here, there's like a little bolt that goes through on the Verpo Alpha. It's just getting to the point where the thread is rotating over like movement. And I've got myself some blue Loctite, where I'm just going to put it on the nut, so when it goes in, it sort of doesn't have that ability to spin back. And I've used it before, but it's obviously just worn out. So I want to basically stop the afterburner tweaking that's going on just now. And it's a really good system. Highly recommend it if you've got it like moving and stuff. Gamma wings are an issue. Yeah, the Mustang would definitely be a difficult one. The Aurora's not going to really do it either. The 85X, like Rolo said, might be a contender, because you could probably have, like, this is how I'm thinking on it. The 85X could be the rally car of the game, where you have somebody on your side saying, right, you're coming up to a left turn here, we're doing, you know what I mean? They would have a stopwatch. They're sitting in the vehicle as well, and like, right, we're coming up to lap 25, you know, mark there. That would be really dope. So I will try the 85X out, but I don't have one available to see how it would feel. That could be kind of cool for racing. But if we're going to go for 85X, then we also have to up the numbers of 85X, because it's a very small ship, you know? And there would be a way of doing it. But I want to avoid the racing ships, because if anyone doesn't understand the flight model within Star Citizen, certain ships are in different categories. So the Arrow is in the fighter category. It's the same as the Buccaneer isn't actually in the fighter category. It's in the interceptor or interdictor line, where boosters do certain things, and that's why you have the way it flies right now. The racing ships have the huge potential to pull away if somebody slows down. And I just don't want the race going to where it starts off with Razors, and then you literally have one person like literally half a lap in front of people, and then people chasing are like, why even fucking bother, you know what I mean? I want it where everyone sort of stays together. So Arrow 85X, something that doesn't take corners that well, but also has the power to put down like the Arrow does. And if you overdrift, you're going to, yeah, do that. It's in the, yeah, but there's a category of, like, where a fighter goes. Even though it's like, it's classed as a medium fighter or a light fighter, it goes into the fighter or interdictor or interceptor or racing or multi-crew class of flying. Like when what your thrusters do just now. Eventually this is going to change, Jolly Wars, where the shape, the surfaces and all that stuff will take into effect, and we will actually move out of this area, and racing ships will then have the ability to buy racing engines and have more power and stuff. Yeah, so if you imagine the flight models here, right? The flight model, basically, if anyone doesn't know, we don't actually have aerodynamics control surfaces. It's all based around, if you see here, down in this little corner there, you can see the G's. So if I left strafe, I have 2.4. If I right strafe, 2.4. If I go down, 2.7. If I go up, 4.8. This is fake drag, lift, all these kind of things in the game right now, because obviously we don't have control surfaces. And all this is changing. So certain ships, with how they are in the category of where, like if it's a racing ship like the M50 or the Razor or the Gamma, they do have a different peripheral and how CIG balance out how much it's going to do. So you'll actually notice that a lot of racing ships don't have that good at going around corners, but they have a shit ton of fucking kickdown. So when you are going forward, you can see 7.6 afterburner 8 point something to get up to speed. It would be a lot higher in the racing ships. And this is where I'm just trying to avoid that. I take the corner really well and I'm pulling ahead. Nobody's catching me at that point. I want to avoid that. Yeah, same, Max. Same. Because again, down the line, we're not going to be able to just hover like this. Because if you imagine, right now, we are hovering in an atmosphere. And if you notice here, the engines are not even thrustering. See how fake it is just now? When you sit still, look. They're literally idle. They're doing nothing. If I up strafe, they actually pop, you know? So engines don't do anything when you're sitting in couple mode. This is changing next year where your engines are going to overheat if you stay stationary. You're actually going to have to land. You're not going to be able to also do this. This is going from the game as well, because your little tiny thrusters would not be able to catch or keep you up like this. This going is as well. Aerodynamics will be added in, control surfaces, all these things. But yeah, it's whatever just now, you know. Then you tricord by combining that forward up and later on how strong the combination is. And yeah. But you can't really tricord this though. It's very difficult to tricord this, you know. Tricording is more something that you use for PvP. But hopefully tricord goes as well, because I'm very against tricording. And it's mainly because of the stupid G's that you get to pull in it, you know. P-52 snub ship is a great racing ship now. The racing variant P-72. Yeah, I know. I'm still trying to get them to sort that one out, Rolo. I'll keep at them for that one. Yeah, it does. Annoys me that every ship can VTOL, you know what I mean? I want this as a perk for Cutlass owners, or Valkyrie owners, Retaliator owners, all these people that are constellations, you know what I mean? I should not be able to stay like this in a fighter. I should be getting thrown around a bit whilst trying to hover, because I don't actually have any major VTOL. This is where Cutlasses would be able to come in and deploy their troops, or however they want to do it, without getting shucked around and stuff. But we need to wait for the new system for that to ever become a thing. That's why, like, when people are VTOLing like this and they're moving around really fast, that will also go out the way, because if you imagine a VTOL ship, what it's going to be is, like, if you look at an Osprey, look up an Osprey plane right now. An Osprey basically goes from helicopter VTOL mode into plane mode. So it starts off, it takes off from the ground, the propellers are above it, and as it moves, it goes into helicopter, where you basically get your collective and you start going like this. Then as it gains speed, the blades actually come down as the pilot raises the nose, and it goes into plane mode, and then it flies around like a plane. This is what I would love to see VTOL actually doing, because again, if you look at, say, any VTOL ship, like a jump jet Harrier, they can't fucking VTOL around, you know, stationary like this. You know what I mean? They literally don't have the ability to do this while staying stationary. That's not how VTOL will work. It's not powerful enough to be able to do that kind of shit. Obviously it would do it in space, because obviously there's no kind of gravity, but in atmosphere it should be where VTOL is for, you would come in, as I'm slowing down, VTOL mode engaged, and it's like, perfect, now I'm in VTOL helicopter mode, and I would be basically coming into land. I've got that strong powerful engines from the cutty, and then we'd be hovering off, VTOL is down, and then you would land basically. That's what I would love to see with it. Not this fucking, oh, I'm in VTOL mode, hyperspeed up in a horizontal direction. You ever seen a cutty go like this in VTOL mode? It's insane. It literally blasts to Narnia. It shouldn't be able to do that. You know what I mean? Air surfaces would massively affect it. So, yeah, when they bring in control surfaces and stuff, we'll finally start seeing ships behaving a little bit more, natural. Obviously, this is a video game, it's a sci-fi game. It's not going to be DCS World Simulator mode, but it needs to be sort of, yeah, you know what I mean? VTOL should not be able to literally make you teleport into space. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to, they were talking about where they want to make it where engines overheat, which would be so sick for like racing, low flying, this sort of stuff here. Could you imagine where like you take a corner badly and it's not because you damage, but maybe you're stressing out the engine so much that its HP goes down, and it would be so cool. Then you start affecting your corners and stuff like that. I really look forward to when we actually have like interior burnouts and stuff like that, you know. This is over on 372 at McGrath Research. This thing is actually, La Spatula, a race course created by the community called the Snake Pit. And CIG for 372 have just added in all this metal work to make it not an official race course, but literally made it where the community's course has been upgraded, and it's so dope. Yeah, I would like cannons. I would like everything to sort of have a deterioration, because again, if you actually look at your ships and you go to power, for example, you can actually see here the 100. This is HP, so if you actually get shot in your modules, this will go down. And it's when you get the, you know, when, what's it called, tolerance or something, when your engines are starting to muck up and you can't turn as much, you'll notice that the HP of this is down. If you actually know a little bit about how the ship will fly, you can just go this and it'll stabilize your flight, because you're not using this engine to basically turn left, and you still have the upper left and the lower left still to do things. But if this one is malfunctioning, you can shut them down to stabilize. Torque and balance, that's it, yeah. But in the future, it won't matter, because control surfaces, if we see here, right? So I'm in decouple mode, I'm flying like this. We're flying fast, engines off. Our engines are off. You can see here with the right, I'll bring up the camera there. Look, this would be my roll and pitch. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I'm just gonna go and dive down. This is because atmosphere flight is faked around thrusters. When we get control surfaces, I will be able to basically pull back on the pitch and glide myself into land. If I then overstall it and just hard dive, you know what I mean? But right now you have zero control. This is where atmospheric flight is fake. And it's controlled around your thrusters, because the moment I engage my thruster, I can level off and come to a halt. So the next flight model, CIG are wanting it where when the engines are disabled, like say somebody shot your engine and you're spinning around because the flight model goes crazy, you actually might be able to come in. Talon users, if anyone likes the Talon in chat, you know how when you lose an engine you start fucking spinning around, woo! That's because the flight model doesn't know what the hell to do with you. In the future, you'll be like, well, I've got my 2 wings in check, but I've lost an engine. Just shut down the engines and I'll come into glide. And you would do this, basically. And it won't be just spinning around like crazy. Cutty. Yeah, Cutty, if you lose one of your engines, you start pulling a fucking Goose and Maverick move. Blacking out, you know? Hopefully this will be where you shut the engine down and you would stabilize and keep going, you know? All of this comes when we actually have proper control surfaces and where the flight model is not based around your thrusters. And whenever they do, like, this is a big thing that a lot of people make a mistake with, content creators as well, is they're like, oh, 317.2, the Blade's flight model has changed. No, it's not. The blade flight model is not changed in 3.17.2. They've just made it where the thrusters do a little bit more power, a little bit more G's. That's all. It's not a different flight model. We've only had like 3 or 4 flight models since 2013. It's just literally peripheral changes. That's all they're doing. Or number changes, sorry, not peripheral changes. Number changes. But all is in the same sort of flight model itself. And the new flight model, a brand new flight model, will allow us to glide and do other things, control surfaces and stuff. We're still burning hydrogen for thrusters. Tweaking the spreadsheet, exactly. And I can't wait. I can't wait for where you could maybe take corners and not have to use thrusters and upstrafe and stuff. It will be a big change. Racing will be a huge difference. Low flying will be insane. You know how, like, always on this channel, I will always say, people that low fly like this, the moment that you fly like this in a hard atmosphere, you are going to crash into the ground the moment that they bring control surfaces in, because you have so much upstrafe right now to stop it, because uplift is created by the fakery around how powerful the upstrafes are, right? The moment that the upstrafes are not powerful, you will have to level off, or you will nosedive into the ground in a hard atmosphere. Now, in certain places that are like space, this place is quite light. You might still be able to do it. But again, the more that you dip your nose down, the more you're going to crash into the ground, because, again, control surfaces will force you down. And I can't wait. I can't wait to see where we actually have to maybe take a little bit more notice on how we're flying. Have you ever noticed, anyone an old backer here that remembers going through Daymar in a Retaliator, coming through space to Daymar in a Retaliator or a Starfarer? And if you didn't have the nose up as you entered the atmosphere and you weren't at a certain speed, you became a fucking asteroid heading towards the ground. There was no way to pull out of it. And I want that back. I'm sick and tired of 890s coming in nose down and then just literally at the last 10 feet lifting up like that. It's so shit to view. But the old style was you would have a Retaliator coming through space, and if you were down like this, you were not pulling out of it. You had to come through the atmosphere with the nose up like a shuttle, retros firing, slow yourself down, and then you would level off and you would come into land. But if you went like this, you were might as well, right, everyone just jump out the airlock because I ain't pulling out of this. It was so much fun, you know? And especially with when we had first had the hovering mode, you could see that the Starfarer was struggling. Its weight, its tiny little thrusters, it couldn't do much and it was overheating. And obviously it got removed because it just wasn't working for the current state of the game. But when they actually do get this working, it'll be so cool to see big ship pilots actually being good at being a big ship pilot. Instead of coming in at 1,000 meters a second in a Carrack and then leveling off like some sort of super jet plane, the Carrack will come in fast, but it's going to have to keep that nose up. It doesn't have, you know, even if it goes into VTOL mode, you would have to literally pull the nose up and VTOL like this, creating the surface to slow down, because if you go VTOL mode like this, you would just literally nosedive. And it would be so sick. It would be so cool to watch. But yeah, you're right, Flying Wombat. There will be a lot of people complaining about it. But it doesn't need to be flight simulator level of aerodynamics. It doesn't need to be DCS World aerodynamics. It just needs to be where you're not nosediving to the ground at 1,000 meters a second and then magically pulling up, you know. There's no documentation on the next flight model. It's just basically what they've been saying in videos, just your end. Also, I get the privilege of being able to talk to CIG sometimes, and it's not like most of the stuff is official. Just watch Inside Star System when it comes up, and that's basically sort of information. If you look at Detox's latest tweet, Detox put out where in 3.17.2 we've got Cutlass's AI coming in, and they don't fly in like this. They actually come in and they nose up and level and land like that, because I'm pretty sure this is preparation for the new flight model where you have to bring the nose up to come in and slow down. So the AI in 3.17.2 are already doing what I'm talking about, where bigger ships are going to have to bring it probably next year for the new flight model. It all depends on how far they are with it, you know. Maybe it's not something, maybe it's like one or two people just working on it just now. I'm pretty sure it's going to take a wee while for them. But obviously it brings control surfaces and some other cool stuff, you know. Wait, let me find his tweet. I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. Let me just put blur on just now, just in case my Twitter brings up something that is not meant to be seen. Let's look at Detox. There's Detox. Yeah, here we go. So Detox tweet. Let's link it here for you guys so you can see it out of chat. Go and follow him, all that good stuff. But this video here, right?
Above?
Watch, this is an AI cutlass, by the way. This is not a player. Let me just quickly take that away from you so you can see his controls. Watch how the cutlass lands. And this is AI.
Player. Copy. Let's
See?
go back to the carrot quick.
See the nose raise up? Because again, in the future, Veto will then engage. Watch again. Veto mode engaged.
He's landing. That's NPCs.
Watch the Veto.
That's NPCs, guys. It's a dropship. Light it up.
This is CIG already creating what I would imagine flight's going to be like when we have control surfaces, because you're not going to be able to just pull out of a dive. You've got to remember, if aerodynamics is a factor, you're wanting that nose up so you create the body as you're coming to land. And that's a prime example here. As you see the NPC coming in, they nose up to slow down. It's a bit janky here, because I think they come in way too low before they actually veto, but obviously this can be changed out. Yeah, the veto is definitely late. I would imagine at this stage when the nose goes up, veto should have been engaged to slow down.
Back to the carrot quick.
Now, veto should have been in the case, and it just does this weird thing, you know? But it can be tweaked.
NPCs, guys. It's a dropship. Light it up. Light it up.
But it's more that CIG are not doing it where most players come in right now. Like, see if the land is like that, they come in and they just go like that, you know? This is them coming in and they're like, you know what I mean? So that's really cool, man. It looks like it was going to belly flop. Yeah, exactly. Like, here looks so dodgy. Like, I'm pretty sure that's some fake, like, oh shit, invulnerability engaged kind of mode. Because I'm pretty sure if a player did that downstrafe at that speed, you would smash into the ground, you know?
And he's landing.
That's a fast drop, you know?
That's NPCs.
But it's still cool to see them, you know, doing the slowdown method into VTOL to land. Because again, most players don't even VTOL to land. And if you think about it, you don't really have the powerful thrusters underneath the cutlass to just slow down like we do already. You would have to engage VTOL.
Getting in position.
But it's dope. Obviously, go and check out his full, the full video on that. But that's what we're kind of like talking about is when control surfaces are in, it's not just going to be, there's the ground, nose dive down, and then stop, and then just go, and then land. It's going to be very much where you're coming in fast, and you're like, alright, this is too fast. Nose up, maybe take a circle around like we do at airports, and then come down, VTOL, land, you know? And it'd be even cooler to see, you know? Also, I want to quickly check here. Did I take any recordings yesterday of drifting with Fresh? Two seconds, chat. Awesome. Just what we're needing, chat. Some blue lockout. Oh. Cool, I can fucking do this now. This is what I was waiting for. The annoying thing is I've got lockout somewhere, but I can't find it. So I got myself a wee bottle. This, if you got like joysticks, is the best shit to get. Really, really good stuff. I think this is what might show Fresh. Show Fresh? I'll quickly put a blur on just in case. No, alright, that's just that. No, I didn't take any recording of fresh. Never mind. You know what I mean, Chris? Shut the fuck up, alright? So picky. Does this thing have a pop lid, doesn't it? Oh no, I'm gonna need a pin, I think. Alright, give me a sec, chat. I need a pin to pierce this. Alright. Let's do some surgery. Actually, before I do this, let's raise our height a bit. Evie the Cutty is a beast. PvP food for hunters. Right now it is, guys, yeah. It needs a lot more HP in my opinion, but when CIG actually get around to balancing things, who knows. Thank you for all the follows as well today, guys. Right, I need... So what I need to do here is try and get this out without pulling out the thing on this. So basically, on the alphas, let me just go to meme mode, this way. You can see here, there's the wee bolt that goes through for the trigger. So right now, the nut on the other side, there, sorry, there. Basically, it's threading out. So what I'm going to do is just put a few drops of Loctite in, Loctite, or whatever you want to call it. But this is not like the... If I recall or remember, the black and red versions are way stronger. I want to actually be able to unscrew this. I just need to make it less, you know what I mean? So just a few drops, chat. Go. Roll that through. Gooey, and we'll roll it back. Alright, so there. Now we'll do a cleanup. You know what we're going to do whilst we're here? Full cleanup as well. Good old alcohol wipes, chat. Always good to have them. Looks like it's made of metal. Gotta keep our joysticks clean. So you keep your gunk off it, you know? Keep all the gunk off your joystick. Beautiful. These ones have actually lasted me so long now. Like, that's easily a year now without having to add in a bit of maintenance. Purple announcement when? I can't tell you guys, sorry. But it's a good one. Sorry, I forgot that camera. It's a good one. Now you jinxed it. I know. However, I know you're meant to like leave this for like a few hours, but I don't have that luxury, sadly, guys. However, I now have a bottle of blue, and I actually was sensible, chat. Got a secondary one. Somewhere in my house there's already this little bottle, but now I have two. One which will go into storage, and one where I will leave somewhere and probably forget it. Found the segment on the AI flight path where Discord would be good, but just in community chat, we only have one channel for Discord. Right, no offense to other Discords, I can't stand trying to find the fucking channel. Just, we have community chat and that's it. Post whatever garbage in there. Not garbage, you know what I mean, like, within reason. And we'll make a thread if it's worthy of chatting about, you know what I mean? Ugh. Probably forget it or lose it. Let me just do a cleanup here. Ugh. Alright. We are maintained, and now we can get back to flying. Although... Yeah, you know what would probably be the best idea? I quickly reset my character with this. This gets rid of this, because I'm at 50% food, so... Whilst we're doing the testing, we'll just do the shenanigans method. Get a new ship, all that jazz. Oh crap, I forgot to put this away. Alright. Hey Canaties, good afternoon to you, Chief. How you doing today, sir? Always remember, keep your stuff in a good shape and take care of it. Exactly. And seek medical advice if you find a lump. I mean, you know. The masturbate post. How you doing today, Chief? Get a flight sit in. I'm keeping the... along with the laps. Alright. My arm is definitely recovered. Now I just need to remember how to get out of here. There we go. Ooh. I got an undersuit. Oh yeah, it's using the link stuff. Then we'll bust the tunes on again. And we'll get down to another run and see how long I can do it for. I think I've probably only got enough, like, tolerance right now to be able to do this twice a day until we build it up. Again, I don't want to injure myself trying to do this, but I also want to see how far we can go. Recovering from COVID? Oh, sorry to hear that, dude.
Delivered to the following location.
Oh, but it's not too bad for you. I don't even know what it feels like, so... I'm sorry. That's all I can say. 85 VEC feels good on the track. More weighty, almost like a Pisces, but a bit more agility feels good. We'll definitely have to try it out. I think the Arrow 85X. Now, if the 85Xs, I think we could probably, because of their size, maybe add in a couple of more racers. Maybe from 5 to 8. Because then you could have 2, 2, 2 all the way through the race, and then it would be pushing up that way, and it wouldn't be too much. But that cockpit, and the 85X feels like a car as well, because obviously being on the side of the bit. So yeah, we might have to try it out. I don't have an 85X available on my account. So I would have to wait till live to be able to buy one to test out. But again, that's not a big thing. I don't think they're that expensive in game, if I remember as well. Oh, right. Yeah, I need to reset this. Joystick Gremlin has killed itself because I disconnected the stuff. There we go. Awesome. $500K, yeah. See that again. Long as the ships that we're purchasing or trying this out are under $1 million, that means that everyone can get involved. It's not difficult for a team, because I don't want people having to go and spend real life money to set up a race team. And unfortunately, you can't get the M50s and M50s and Racer, you know, Racers and all that shit without buying them in game. And since we got bugs and stuff as well, it's best to keep it simple, but also keep out of that racing flight category. Because I don't want people being able to pull away. I want it where we have the collisions, we have the tight turns, and somebody gets slightly in front. But then there's the pressure. There's no pressure for a racer the moment that they're like half a lap ahead and they're like, oh, I can just be comfortable now, you know? I want it where for the whole entire match or race, everyone's like, if I fuck up, I'm gonna smash into another 85X, you know, or another Arrow. That's where it'll be most fun, I feel. Centerham of Space Merlin wants to ride the back with all the jazz. What do you mean, Skyrim? You want me to fly a Merlin? Is that what you're saying? You bought the 85? Are you talking about the 85X, Knight? Space Mercedes. Yes, just enough room for me to put my shopping in whilst I return to my 890 yacht. Yeah. I don't even know if I have a Merlin. Again, I could probably go here and see, actually. I saw on Twitter you had the Z extension on your sticks, but you're not using them anymore. Yeah, right, so the Z extension is so good, right? However, I had them on the left and the right for Gundam Flight, and it was amazing. I could do the most insane stuff in low flying. It was crazy. The problem is I couldn't aim for shit. I couldn't aim for shit on an NPC. So I decided to go left and then vertical on the right. The problem is with that, it helped with aiming again, because obviously I had more muscle memory with doing it that way. But when I went into sweaty PvP, I couldn't aim for shit. And since I do spend a lot of time with myself, organization, doing PvP, I just wanted to have it at the highest level that I could achieve. So for me, 2 vertical sticks makes more sense. Now for other people, it might be completely different. But that's why I had to put the Z extensions away. And I'll probably actually do a giveaway at the end of the year and give them, because like they're in perfect condition, you know. But I just literally couldn't do what I wanted to do with them, you know. I would definitely say if you are going to get them, just get the one for the left. That's it. That's it. Or the right if you're like left hand, you know, pitch and stuff. Best racers are in Blackout, Redout, Whole Race, Herald Racing, please. Yeah. Well, you know, with Herald Racer, you could do like Dragster Racing, which would be kind of cool. But you don't black out in the Herald anymore going... Remember when the Herald used to literally go forward and you would black out? That was dope. That was so dope. That actually made it feel like you were going fast, and people in the back seat were already unconscious at that time. It was so cool. I'm hoping blackouts and redouts come, because there are times I'm going around this course at 9 Gs. I should be pretty much having a snooze, you know? If I push too hard and stuff like that, so... Let me just quickly set this up here. Thank you for all the follows today, guys. Absolutely incredible support. Appreciate you all. We're on day 47 of streaming in a row, Star Citizen. I'm trying to do a challenge of streaming for 6 months in a row. I don't know if I'll be able to do it, but we are sort of moving into that near the end of the second month kind of period. And I'm feeling good, like, I'm feeling good on it. I don't think I'll ever be able to achieve the year stuff like people like have done. But definitely going for that that 6 monther. Okay. Right. We need some more music. What do we have here? What's this? Indoor cycling music. I don't know if that's gonna do what I need. What about this? This is cardio and running music. This should do. We need hardstyle. You know, for a second there I thought you said, Marlon, we need hairstyle, and I was gonna have a thing. You haven't comment on my hair, are you? But yeah, hardstyle. I actually don't know any hardstyle. Hardstyle. Jim Hardstyle 22, please. Let's have a listen to it. Eurobeat? Eurobeat would do. No one ever needed hardstyle. I actually don't know what hardstyle is. Is it the stuff where it just goes... You know what I mean? Let's listen to a bit. It seems I could jam to this. Dubstep's amazing. What's the one where it just... I can actually do this. I can do this. Right, we're gonna start again with that. I can do this. I can do this. Yeah, yeah. Hardstyle is. We'll rock for a bit. All right. Let's do this. We'll get into the swing of it. Oh, wait. I actually need to raise that up. We'll do like a couple of getting into it, you know. I need to raise this. Actually, wait. Yeah. These are not in the same position as I need it, so I can relax my arms. There we go. There we go. That's better. Begin the pain. Alright, let's get down to the height. First lap, just basically warming up, getting used to the turns again. I can't do this. Boing. If it just didn't do this nonsense, right? You know? I can't. That's a no, there's no way I can listen to that. Let's what else have we got? What else have we got? Not hard style. I can't, if it just didn't do the boink 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 stuff, I would be fine. We'll go with this again. This is fine. To get off the tram? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I can't do boink boink noise, like. I'm too old, guys. I'm turning 40 this year, you know? Let's get comfortable. Let's dial in, chat. I'm gonna lower this slightly down as well, so I've got more flexibility on the right. Want the left to relax, the right to be a bit more looser. It takes about 10 times to get into that sort of rhythm. 10 laps. Alright. We're in the rhythm now. I've got the afterburner, doing well. Start the pulsing. Alright. I definitely feel like we've got sort of like a rhythm going now. little heavy on the afterburner, that one. I need to be a lot lighter. I need to massively concentrate on using it. I think that's the hardest part of this, is trying to watch the turns, the drifts with the arrow, but also manage that afterburner correctly. That's too hard, that one. Alright, so I need definitely more afterburner if I want to keep that corner good. Light here, light here. That's fine. We should be back up to 40, I would imagine, when I need it. Yeah, 40. Pulse, 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 pulse. Round. Here, we don't need too much afterburner. I'll just take it a little sharp. We'll drift it. There we go. Back up to 50. We only need a pulse here. Pulse and pulse. Momentum will carry us around. And again here. Pulse, pulse, and then hold for a drift. Let go. In. This one's the worst one, where you need to use a little bit of a pull just to keep the back end from moving out too far. But we're back up to 70 here. So pulse. Pulse. Back through there. A little slow on that one. Was a bit too generous, I think. Yeah, that's good. We're holding now. They go there. I'm not trying to do corners all the time. I'm trying to picture in, if there was other pilots as well, how to take certain corners wide. Like say for example I had to go wide or low here, and then this bit somebody cuts in, I would have to then shift the weight, maybe to try and counter by taking this sharper, you know what I mean? Down lower. Try and visualize not every turn of trying to make it pinpoint accurate, but where other racers could be, how they're wanting to fly. Is there enough space? Maybe I want to go even tighter in this turn. Like here, if we take this sharp and then let it go a bit more here. Short here. Yeah, so that could actually work if we had to cut somebody off, maybe. If we have to go wide here and cruise her around. Gotta watch that corner though. If we go too low, you'll smash into that Caterpillar engine. It's nice. We got like a 225 push on this one now. 150 round that corner. That's nice. Back into 250. Drag it here. I'll guess in there. As long as we're about 200 at the beginning of this is where I like feel comfortable about. Let's do like a long drag now. Just in case we had to get drifting around other people. Just seeing how much the arrow would actually do it. Seems to be okay. Yeah, we do have a few options to try and, like if there's 5 arrows on the track, or even 4 arrows, maybe we have to go for 4. There's still plenty space. You would have to just slow down on certain corners to get around. I'll try and chat as well whilst I'm flying. I need to wait for the straight to be able to read it. Do you ever Toby Signs? Yeah, I do have Toby Signs, but unfortunately, I don't have a command for it. I would love to give you them, but right now my hands and feet are kind of occupied. You know what I mean? So, what I'll do is I'll make a channel on Discord later if I can remember, and I'll put my settings for Toby in it, just an image, and I'll keep updated for you guys. Hopefully I'll remember that. I think I could probably actually memorize how it goes though. I think my yaw is 5. And my pitch is 3 and my roll is 1.5 or 2. And then it's 100% head tracking instead of gaze. And input is maximum as well, if I remember. That would be a rough guess without actually looking at it, you know. 51.2. Ooh, that's juicy, especially as we're still not at the full light capacity. Oh god, that's gonna be a difficult one to read. That's an even more of a... Oh god, breezy. I'd say 4 months. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. I'll try and read the thing as well. I think it was thank you for the... What do you say? Oh, shit. Right. Thank TheDarkLaw. Thanks for the stream. You're welcome. You're very welcome. Oh my god. I need a pit crew guy to announce everything to me. Alright, TheDarkLaw, you're coming into the total, because I read it there, 12 laps, 51 seconds. I need somebody on comments to be like, right, TheDarkLaw, you're coming into the 15th lap now, you're doing well, you're ahead of the group. 2 seconds ahead of them, you're doing well, you know? That'd be so sick, man. And they would have to do it with an announcer sound file as well. So it sounds like staticky and shit. This is going to be a bit of a slow lap. I've lost too much momentum. Maybe we can regain it back. We'll see. But yeah, thank you for taking the times, guys. I massively appreciate people helping on that one. Just to see how much it takes. Pretty cool tune, actually. And I would love to read more of chat as well, guys, but yeah. We are trying to cruise 50 laps under an hour, so I think we're doing well, we're doing well. If we're 12 in and we're like 51 seconds a lap, we're good, we're good. I need to get in contact with Crucian. Crucian, the Atmo Esports guys as well. And be like, look, this track, I want to see endurance racing. Oh, bad push, bad push. Alright, 75% mark on fuel. How many laps in are we at? 75% done? Or 25% done? You got a count for me? $16. That's not bad then. Not bad. So say if you average 15 per 25%. Alright. So we actually might run out of fuel. I might actually be able to scrape it. I think what we're gonna have to do is maybe do 2 laps without afterburner, slow the speed down, or just use the afterburner for the thing. We're gonna try it now. So this is on this lap. We're just full 100% free decking as much as we can. Hold the afterburner, not use too much hydrogen. There we go. Maybe that's what we would do at the start of the race. Couple of laps of less pushing would give you the full tank to do the 50 then. But if I'm at 16 already, so that's not bad. So this is less hard. You can see by the fact that my afterburner is all the way up there, so. Right, then we make up the time by slapping her down. How's left arm? Left arm's alright just now. It's roughly about 50% fuel tank is when it starts to hurt. So if it's 25% fuel, say an average of 15 laps, at 30 laps, that's when my arm starts to get sore. So we'll see then, we'll see. Right now it's feeling good. I'm gonna make up some time for doing the slow run to conserve on fuel. So we're gonna do like a little bit more pushes in certain areas to see if that balances out. If we're generally holding about 51, 52 seconds per lap, that's a good time as well. I think if we start hitting the 55 seconds per lap, then yeah, we're in trouble at that stage. That's probably then I'm getting really, really tired. 20 hard laps in, right? Nice, nice, nice. And again, obviously it's going to be a lot harder with more people on the track. But that's why you would have to do this to build up a tolerance where it wouldn't hurt without having to, because again, you're going to have to navigate other pilots at the same time, other racers. That's where you would lose a lot more fatigue. But if I can get to if I can build up a tolerance to do 50 laps without ever getting tired, that means I would have the extra energy to be able to navigate around people and that concentration as well. Sadly, the music is not really, I'm not really vibing to this music right now, so bad choice on album or playlist on my part. And I don't think I could actually reach to change it, sadly. I think in the straight I might be able to change the track here. Let's do it now. There we go. This is a bit better. Hey, tough, I can't read that, dude. Impossible for me to do, dude. Try and get a bit more in. Yeah, I can't answer that. It's a fucking essay in my mind right now, dude. Way less words if you want me to answer a question whilst trying to do this. I would have to read each part when I'm in a straight line, you know? What you mean conserving fuel for dodging around? Yeah, you would have to learn that if that's what you asked. More... Yeah, you would lose more fuel with more people around, definitely. That's why I think the Arrow can just do 50 laps in the sort of race I'm thinking about. Because if I'm doing 15 laps on an average at 25% and I'm not even having to really dodge around people and waste fuel, yeah, I think if you were pushing too hard, first of all, I think you would crash. Secondly, you would tire yourself out. And thirdly, I think you would run out of fuel before the end of the 50. And especially if you had it where, you know what I mean, if you were doing it with another player as well, where you do like 25, 25, 25, 25, you would have the brake on it. The ruling could be you couldn't refuel as well. So you do 25 laps and then you've got to literally land and shut your ship down at a pit station where a referee would watch you. That could be something that could be added in. But yeah, the more movements I do with certain engines or thruster placement, the more fuel I'll drain. So a lot of the time, instead of doing like the guys who do the hard rolls and pitches to get around the corners, I'm using yaws a bit more because I'm trying to conserve fuel whilst I go around the corner and keep the speed. Alright, let's try and start making up time. I think we're over 25, are we not now? Or 23, alright, we're at 23. Make up a bit of time on the last two then. This album is killing my soul though. I'm slowly losing the will to do this with how bad the music is. Oh my god. Alright. I got that page open. Mouse has moved. Oh my god. I should program Voicemeter to change albums. That would be pretty fucking dope. Alright, slowing down just slightly here, guys. Right, we're good, we're good, we're good. Yeah, there we go. Alright, let's make up time. Whoa, 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 whoa. She's going too high. That was bad, that was bad, that was bad. Oh, shit, 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 shit. Not 100% sure if she's alright. I don't think we've damaged anything. There's a bit of a drift. Ooh. Or a loss of concentration. Something went wrong there. Maybe on my end, or we went in with not enough afterburner. I've been pushing it a little bit too hard on those corners. Maybe lighten off. That could have been bad. Probably lost a good second on that. 2 seconds maybe. Alright, let's get the afterburner back for this one. Yeah, there we go. We're back in it, boys. Back in it. Alright, we're at the 50% mark of fuel. What lap are we on now? 38. Ooh. Around the 30. Nice. Right, right. How many laps? 38, 38. Whew. 12 to go, boys. 12 to go. And we're on good fuel as well. Alright, let's get it faster. Faster. Sleeker. Let's make the last 10 count. Oh shit. Ah, man. Yeah. That was too tough. 51-7, yeah, snake pit, yeah. That was a shame. I literally ran out of afterburner. I couldn't bring the nose down. 41, that's not bad though. That's not bad. Definitely the longer it goes past like the 30, the arm's feeling good as well. Once it goes past the 30 mark, I'm definitely noticing my afterburner usage is getting more sluggisher. 51-7 though. That's good. That's good. That's good. Thank you for taking note on that one though. So we got to 41, and we're actually way more fuel than I thought it would be. So you could probably up the amount. If I was saying that 41 there, so yeah, 60, 70 laps before the arrow runs out. It definitely felt that I got more laps in for the second 25% of fuel. Well, they're meant to be changing the blade fuel and stuff before it goes to live. Need a better engine? Oh man, it'd be so dope if you could actually do it. 36 minutes? Ah, shit! There's no way we would make it under the 40 mark then. If I could get my laps down to 50 seconds a lap in the arrow, then there's chance. But yeah, 45 minutes would be like the aim on that. Breezy, thank you again for the 4 months. Have you ever listened to the mashup between Thunderstruck and Ghostbusters? No, I've not. I'll check out for that though. Oh. Two laps considering the 2 warm-ups is 44. Yeah, we had plenty of fuel. And my arm wasn't feeling tired. It was good. I could have probably gone maybe 60. It was the not concentrating on the afterburner that is the next step to start working on. That's not bad. That's not bad. Again, if you had another person on the track, it might make it more interesting. Bring in like 4 people and all that jazz. Also, I looked up something, skip song. Can be used by your Twitch mods to skip a song. Maybe, yeah. I don't really want to have mods with that control, you know. At the end of the day, I should have just put a good thing on. So average time is 53.4, yeah. Again, long as I sort of... The focus would be, and again, we're not really in a racing sort of format. We've got 2 colors when we only need 1. We have the shield gen, which adds weight, and we have the 2 guns that adds weight. So we could probably keep to a 51, 52 mark. Maybe even push a 50 with practice. The problem is after a good 25 laps to 30 laps, I'm sort of at that stage where like I know what I need to do and get the job done, but it's starting to get slower and slower and slower with the process. But it's kind of cool to see that you could actually get some endurance racing into Star Citizen. And I think that, like, this is where, not only planes, but you know what I mean? CIG, you need to make, like, a NASCAR track. With, like, the ability... You know how they were showing off a video of where they're making, like, cyclones and stuff drift a bit more physics being brought in to make it more realistic, so to speak? You know what I mean? We could actually get, like, proper... NASCAR like RCs driving around. That would be pretty sick, you know. And they could just make a, because they were talking about a while back like adding in roads and you've got the like a loop or something like that. Maybe throw a twist in by making it where there's like a little ramp or a canyon that you jump, like, so when people come in under, you jump over them. Rangers, yeah. But you know what I mean, like where there'd be like proper road. Well, the Nox would work at the snake pit and stuff, but I'm talking about where proper road track with like a stadium would be pretty cool, and especially cars and stuff wouldn't need a figure of 8. Yeah, I mean, whatever, but make it where like the cars have to go up like a big bank, and maybe if you don't take them at certain speeds, Eamon, you slide down and you lose speed. Again, it would be really cool to see, and it's not that difficult for CIG to add something like that. It's just literally having whoever did the track right now upgrade, they put it in. But it definitely opens up a lot more possibilities, and the discussion that we were having earlier on, where you would have like pit crew, maybe a secondary car, refueling, repair from Vulcans and stuff like that, and you actually see people turning up in like 890s or whatever used to carry people, and you've got like a full racing team kind of stuff, you know, because again, you can put 3 arrows in a 890 and you could have like, yeah, it would be kind of cool actually, and you have that sort of like track day out in the verse, security, you know, even better with like what's it called, server meshing and sharding and stuff like that, where maybe more than a 50-man dedicated kind of thing. Yeah, I can definitely see this taking off in the game. By literally taking that canyon track and adding in the pipes, it's so much fun. It's so good. And like, if anyone's ever getting into low flying, I would highly suggest it, because it massively teaches you about the difference with speeds and heights and stuff like that. Like, if you see, obviously it's not going to be at the best quality, because obviously it's here, alright. You know what I mean? Like, obviously the quality is not that good because we're just watching the recording, but I'm not exactly using all the height. I'm doing my more low flying kind of style, but we've got the drifting coming in, you know. Oh, who was it that was asking for the Toby stuff, you know? Let me get you that. Also, I'm gonna change something slightly on Toby, where I want this 25. We're gonna put this at 25. Who was wanting my settings for Toby? I'm gonna give you them now. I'll just move this up a little bit here. But yeah, endurance racing, it's fun, chat. It's fun. It's hard though. It is hard. If anyone thinks going around 50 times without crashing is easy, get your ass down there and have a shot of it. Because I'm absolutely exhausted in that process. There's the link. Whoever was wanting my Toby settings, there they are. I'll make an area on Discord for it. First of all, I'll put here. Oh yeah, here's the wear and tear. Let's have a look, Cam.
Look, well, just janky as heck. So the AI flight path system is getting new features.
This is so cool, and we've got this in 3.17.2, so it just needs a bit of a more of a dial in, but you know what I mean. The AI is now navigating across the ground. It's really cool. They'll make it way more smoother and all that jazz, you know. Thank you for that, Rolo. That's on Discord just now, guys. Let me save this link just here. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it at 25. I want it to drift a little bit more when I'm turning, so it's like 5 on the yaw, 3-5 to there we go. And then obviously down, these ones are like down to your own peripheral, yeah. Oh, stands in the air for people to watch. Yeah, exactly, man, you know. But then you could have like it enclosed off mobster, where you have like a track enclosed off and you have to pay and you go through a stadium and you actually take a seat. You know what I mean? Instead of people just hovering around, maybe have it where there's like a dome above it, So random ships can't come in and start shooting, you know what I mean? Maybe have some AA turrets to defend it. That would be so dope, like, so dope. Yeah, the Snake Pit is originally a community-made track, and CIG have gone out of their way to add some metalwork to make it look as it does just now. And it's so cool to see CIG actually doing that, you know? Like Trackmania style, yeah. Again, like, you could make monster trucks. Monster truck racing. I wouldn't mind seeing in the future maybe like a rally car. 2-seater rally car. Going around some jungle track, you know, and CIG just literally cut out a loop and players can then make their own organic gameplay, you know what I mean? Like literally before they updated this area, I knew about the tracks, but I had no interest in doing them. Because, well, it's just dunes as far as I'm concerned, but now they've added the metalwork and it feels more like a racetrack. You know? Then we can create our own content around it. It's a really easy way of doing organic stuff in this game. It's what I keep advertising on this show, where sometimes dynamic events and things like that just don't work. It's better for players to actually do their own stuff. And then you get more fun out of it. I've definitely, like, been doing this, even though I've only done 2 sets right now. I'm tired. I'm ready for food. I'm ready for, you know, go and get some drink and stuff like that. And a 30k. And there's a prime example of, that's us. 30k has told us we're out of here, you know? But yeah, I think I'm definitely going to come back to this tomorrow and try again. My goal is I want to hit these 50 laps. No damage, good time, 45 minutes. 45 minutes, 50 laps, no damage. That's my goal. And then obviously when they update the PTU and stuff, we'll test out some more of the blade and stuff like that. But yeah, that's a lot of fun. No 4Ks, yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for that support. Let's send you over to... Oh, Salty Mike has just started up. Let's go to Salty Mike. Normally he doesn't stream on a Monday, but he's there. Let's send you over to Salty. And yeah, thank you so much for everyone tuning in for that. We'll be back to it tomorrow. Also, Space Jam, thank you very much for taking the time. Massively appreciate that. We'll have to try and figure out a way to maybe have it on the screen or something like that, and maybe a moderator can like click it or something like that. I don't know. I don't even know if you can get something for it. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for the support. Take care, and well, we'll be back tomorrow. Thank you to everyone up here. Appreciate y'all. Have a wonderful Monday. Take care. Stay safe. Have a wonderful night. Have a wonderful life. Thank you, guys. Black Angel. Space Jam. Test Battle. Tough Mudder. Zayman. Mobster. Flame Wombat. Joe. Skylum. Everyone. GG's. Take care. There's a timer for Stream Deck as a plugin. Yeah, the problem is I don't have the ability to actually push a button. It would have to be on the joystick or something like that. Black Angel. The Spatula. Take care, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you.